Truth is, I've never felt a stronger bond with not only her but with any other human being in my life. After years of rumors and speculation, Miranda Lambert has finally spoken up. The country music diva finally spoke out about her connection with Blake Shelton, confirming what many have suspected for a long time. Years of denial have finally given way to the revelation, which has only increased the public's interest in the truth and the circumstances surrounding her abrupt change of attitude. Come along as we find out what Miranda really confessed and how it affects her and Blake's future together. Miranda Lambert came into this world in the sleepy Texas hamlet of Lindale, where she was born on November 10, 1983. Lambert had a somewhat unusual childhood despite coming from a close-knit family. As private detectives, her parents, Rick and Beverly Lambert, frequently encountered clients in difficult situations. Miranda would subsequently include themes of perseverance, hardship, and loss into her songs, which she heard firsthand in this line of work. Rick, a gifted guitarist, would regularly play country and southern rock tunes at home, and Beverly encouraged Miranda's early singing ambitions, so it's no surprise that music was an important part of her upbringing. Legends such as Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, and Loretta Lynn were Lambert's heroes. As she absorbed their music, she attributes the genuine, unfiltered viewpoint that has always been foundational to her art to her childhood in a small town and her family's love of music. According to her own words, Lambert started her musical career at a young age. It all started when she was a teenager when she began singing at festivals and talent showcases in her hometown. Soon after learning guitar from her dad, she began penning her own tunes. Lyrics were enriched by her childhood memories and the tales she had heard from her parents' jobs. Miranda started playing in honky-tonks and other small venues with a local band when she was just 16 years old. She gained self-assurance and honed her style via these performances. Her humble beginnings as an ambitious young woman performing in seedy bars instilled in her the tenacity and resolve she would need to make it in the cutthroat country music industry. Her participation in the 2003 season of the reality show Nashville Star was her big break. Discovering true country talent was the aim of this reality program, in contrast to many others that produced pop stars. Despite finishing in third place, Lambert's performances resonated with both the judges and the viewers. A record deal with Sony Music was hers as a result of the publicity. She would go on to perform at sold-out venues as well as small-town stages throughout her professional music career, which began with this career. Her 2005 first album showcased her feisty, self-reliant personality to the globe. Her bold attitude was reflected in her songs Gunpowder and Lead and Kerosene, which captured the hearts of fans who respected her straightforward approach to love and life. In spite of her rising stardom, Lambert never lost touch with her hometown and her background, which she frequently cited as the reasons for her success. Lambert's early years were formative for her eventual ascent to fame, but she didn't always have it easy. She became the musician she is today in part because of the obstacles she overcame in her personal life. As her music career took off, Kerosene, Miranda Lambert's debut album, was released in 2005 and became her big moment. She became one of the most prominent figures in country music with this album. It did more than simply put her on the map. The album shot to the top of the charts because of its raw energy and apology-free lyrics. The album's title single, Kerosene, shot into the country music charts top 20. Many people connected with the song's passionate message of strength and independence, particularly the women who looked up to Lambert for her fearlessness and authenticity. Kerosene was well received by critics as well as consumers. Her distinctive fusion of conventional country music with a contemporary rebellious edge was highly praised by reviewers. Lambert was clearly not attempting to be your average country music star. Rather, she was forging her own unique route, one in which she would have complete creative control and remain authentic to her own identity. As was evident to many, her hallmark became this feisty autonomy. From that point on, Lambert's career took off. She also stood out as a songwriter because of the unique manner in which she could convey things via music that were both intimate and relatable. With Kerosene, Lambert solidified her position as an artist with a vision and a powerful voice, in addition to her status as a vocalist. Although Kerosene paved the way, her subsequent albums cemented her status as a dominant force in country music. She continued to push the envelope with 2007's Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Songs such as Gunpowder and Lead demonstrated her fearlessness and no-nonsense demeanor. She received her first Album of the Year award from the Academy of Country Music for the smash hit album, which also garnered her universal praise. Fans adored her because she was genuine, approachable, and shameless about being herself, while critics lauded her talent for combining vulnerability with strength. Revolution, 2009, her subsequent album, was a watershed moment in her career. Lambert was already famous before this album, but it catapulted her to superstardom. The House That Built Me and similar songs revealed a more reflective and sensitive side of her, demonstrating that she was just as capable of delivering passionate ballads as she was of delivering fierce choruses. She won a Grammy for Best Female Country Vocal Performance for the song, which became her first #1 hit. Lambert did not stop receiving praise as the years passed. She went on to win many awards at the Grammys, the Academy of Country Music, and the Country Music Association. These accolades were a testament to her skill and the influence she had on country music. She was an innovator in the field because she could combine classic country sounds with her own distinctive style, which influenced subsequent generations of musicians. Lambert's ascent to stardom was characterized by determination, risk-taking, and being loyal to her heritage. She proved that one's unique identity should not be sacrificed for the sake of prosperity, becoming an icon of strength and honesty. Both Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton will never forget the 2005 stage where their journey started. They were partnered to sing You're the Reason God Made Oklahoma as a duet at CMT's 100 Greatest Duets event, which focused on country music. Their chemistry was palpable, and their voices harmonized superbly. It was obvious that they had a particular connection as they sang together. At the time, though, their friendship was smooth sailing because Miranda and Blake were both in committed relationships. Miranda was in a relationship, and Blake was married to Kelly, his first wife. Their relationship appeared to deepen rapidly despite these obligations. After some time had passed, Miranda and Blake would both acknowledge that the passion they had during that duet was genuine and powerful. Rumors started circulating about their romance as their friendship became stronger. Their intimacy was immediately noticed by fans and journalists, who began to wonder when their romance began, given that it was shortly after Blake and his wife announced their divorce. This further fueled the speculation. Around the same time, Miranda broke off her relationship as well. Their romance sparked heated discussion online, with some fans praising their connection and others pointing out the inconsistencies in their romantic histories. Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert often joked about how they seldom met in person and how they always seemed fatigued from their hectic schedules, even when they did get to spend time together. One of the hardest things was keeping their marriage in the spotlight while juggling two successful jobs. Their diverse and urgent personalities added another dimension to their problems. Blake Shelton was famous for his easygoing personality, passion for comedy, and love of life in every circumstance, always adding a touch of humor and a relaxed attitude. In contrast, Miranda Lambert was more introverted and passionate, frequently conveying intense feelings and a raging spirit through her songs. At first, their differences were what drew them together, but as time went on, they began to cause some confusion. Although Blake's sense of humor was his strong suit, Miranda's serious side frequently highlighted the profound emotional connection they had. As their lives became more complicated due to fame and separation, it became increasingly difficult to find common ground between these contradictory tendencies. As their marriage developed, rumors of adultery started to circulate, putting their relationship to the test. Some in the tabloid press speculated that Blake had an affair with singer Katie Groves, and the rumors of his alleged infidelity spread like wildfire. Their personal lives were rocked by the media's constant coverage of these events, even if the stories were frequently exaggerated. In interviews, Blake denied the claims, insisting that he and Miranda were innocent. He often played off the accusations as harmless rumors, joking about their commitment to honesty. However, the continual attention on their personal lives made it impossible for them to ignore the speculation. Because of her prominent position in the public spotlight, Miranda also became the target of scrutiny and gossip. The rumors of adultery seemed to persist indefinitely. One major cause of conflict was the constant media attention their relationship received. With anonymous sources and remarks taken out of context, tabloid headlines painted a picture of a marriage in peril. The media's relentless scrutiny of their devotion and fidelity placed tremendous stress on their partnership. Regardless of the truth, the rumors intensified Blake and Miranda's concerns, forcing them to confront problems that might not have arisen otherwise. Despite their best efforts to reassure one another, the constant barrage of media attention made it difficult to trust each other, adding stress to an already difficult situation where their careers were taking them in different directions, and the media was sowing seeds of doubt. Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton were married for 4 years before announcing their divorce in 2015 due to growing marital discord. In the country music industry, This news came as a shock to fans. Their romance, which many had hoped would last forever as a merger of two charming and gifted celebrities, had ended. They tried very hard to make their marriage work, but they were both too busy with their careers, had fundamental disagreements, and were under constant public scrutiny. Miranda and Blake both shared messages conveying their sadness while still expressing mutual respect. They issued a joint declaration making it clear that their decision to split was not taken lightly. They were honest about their attempts to work through their problems, but in the end, they decided it was best to dissolve their marriage. The rapidity with which things progressed after Blake Shelton filed for divorce in 2015 caught many by surprise. The divorce was finalized only days after the announcement, as if the process had moved at the speed of light. Many people wondered what had been happening behind the scenes due to how quickly it all ended. The speed of the divorce led people to assume that feelings had been simmering for some time before they went public. Although neither Blake nor Miranda denied the rumors, speculation arose that trust issues and lifestyle differences had played a role. Reports suggested that Blake worried about infidelity, though Miranda always refuted the claims. Balancing their professional and personal lives became a struggle, and Miranda reportedly felt unsupported and misunderstood in the marriage. The intense media attention made the situation much worse for both of them. Tabloids published endless stories, with some analyzing Miranda's private life while others questioned Blake's motivations for filing so quickly. During this highly emotional period, both were forced to endure public scrutiny. Despite the circulating rumors, Blake and Miranda refrained from engaging in public shaming, instead focusing on moving forward. Blake occasionally mentioned the split in interviews, and the toll it took on both musicians was evident in their music. Their breakup was reflected in songs like Vice by Miranda and She's Got Away with Words by Blake, which conveyed their feelings of bewilderment, resentment, and sadness. They found solace in their music, using it to express their intense emotions. Eventually, both Blake and Miranda moved on to new relationships and started fresh. The end of Miranda Lambert's marriage to Blake Shelton and their subsequent divorce was one of the most trying times of her life. From an outsider's perspective, it was difficult to comprehend the emotional toll of their public separation and the loss of her spouse. The anguish was especially evident for a woman known for her feistiness and strength. In the months following her divorce, Miranda struggled with feelings of loss and grief. She had poured her heart into her love with Blake, and now it was gone. It was a difficult process, but one that made her reflect deeply. As she always had, Miranda relied heavily on her music to cope. Music became a means for her to process her emotions, vent her pain, rage, and vulnerability. Much of her personal struggles were chronicled in her 2016 album The Weight of These Wings. More than just an album, it was an honest exploration of emotions. Songs like Tin Man, where she sang about avoiding feeling too much, and We Should Be Friends, where she embraced the notion of moving forward despite past pain, allowed fans to connect with her sorrow. Beyond music, Miranda found solace in the company of loved ones, leaning on those who had been by her side throughout the difficult times. Rather than isolating herself, she surrounded herself with those who provided support, guidance, and normalcy. She also focused on personal growth, prioritizing her well-being, exploring new experiences, and taking time to heal. Adopting rescue pets brought her joy during those challenging times, helping her rediscover her inner strength. After the breakup, both Miranda and Blake took different paths in their love lives. Blake Shelton's romance with singer Gwen Stefani quickly became public. Their friendship began as co-coaches on The Voice, and their chemistry was immediately apparent. Their budding romance was noticed by fans and the media, leading to endless speculation. One of the most talked-about rumors was an alleged affair between Blake and a nanny, which stirred tension and gossip. Despite denying the claims, the scandal lingered. However, Blake and Gwen's bond only grew stronger, and they eventually married in 2021. Their love story was widely praised, standing in contrast to the scrutiny-filled marriage Blake had with Miranda. Meanwhile, Miranda found love again in an unexpected way. In early 2018, she began dating NYPD officer Brendan McLaughlin. Keeping their relationship secret at first, Miranda shocked fans in February 2019 by announcing they had married just a few months after they began dating. Unlike Blake's highly publicized relationship, Miranda's romance with Brendan was far more private. Since Brendan was not a celebrity, Miranda found the security and peace she had longed for in past relationships. Their life together was discreet, offering a refreshing change from the relentless media attention of her previous marriage. While Blake's romance with Gwen made headlines, Miranda found happiness in a quieter, more grounded way. Following her divorce, Miranda used music as a therapeutic outlet. While music had always been a source of comfort, it became even more crucial in her healing process. Her 2019 single Got My Name Changed Back reflected her personal struggles, symbolizing her reclaiming her identity after her marriage ended. The song, centered on empowerment and self-love despite past baggage, resonated with many who had experienced similar life changes. Themes of strength, sadness, and perseverance were present in the albums she released post-divorce. Songs from Wild Card and The Weight of These Wings reflected a range of emotions, from grief to liberation. Critics and fans alike praised her sincere lyrics and deep storytelling ability. Miranda Lambert proved that she could not only survive adversity but also transform it into creative success. She continued to thrive in country music, cementing her legacy with her powerful voice, compelling songwriting, and authentic storytelling. Her ability to turn heartbreak into music made her an enduring figure in the industry. From despair to healing, Miranda's music tells a story of resilience, growth, and triumph.